Hi, this is Horror Studio 1, and I'd like to share with you guys a personal true story of mine. When I was young, I had a hamster who I loved dearly. I was around 12 at the time. Sadly, he was very sick and very old, and there was this one summer that I had to leave the country for a whole month. When I got back, he was already gone. He was very lonely in his last days, as we'd placed him in a place that was somewhat careless of treating him right. So I know that he must have been very depressed in his final days, and I wasn't around with him. I never got to say goodbye to my hamster. It may sound kind of dumb, but I still remember it to this day. And I made this video, I guess as a tribute or anything, as to those who have lost pets. Thank you. Allie wouldn't say goodbye. A tale of a cat stuck between worlds. When I was 10, we had 4 cats. Now, I won't go into details for these cats, but I will tell you the haunting story of one of the cats that wouldn't let go. Allie was our 13-year-old alley cat, who was having some troubles in health. My mother took her to the vet one day and she never came home. I was distraught. I wasn't sure what to do with myself, so I went into the living room to take a look at some of the old letters and pictures I had from her when I had been younger. I was in deep thought, observing a cute picture of her when I heard it. A tick, tick, tick sound. It was rather odd, and I looked up very slowly. Now, my old cat was famous around our house for making noises wherever she went. She had non-retractable claws, and this sound met the bill. I didn't see anything, but I was disturbed, so I ran up the stairs. Nothing else happened for a while, and our house returned to its previous peace. Then a month later, in the early winter months, I saw her. Allie was alive? I was shocked to see that Allie's tail was protruding from the side of an open door, but when I opened the door the rest of the way, nothing was there. This happened many more times in the following 2 years, along with the sounds and a few sightings. I was scared. My cat was back and I didn't know what to do. So I did what I thought was best. I got a picture of her and I buried it, as far down as I could get it. And I believe this brought some peace to her life, because she never did come back. But the second I had the hole covered up, I heard her familiar meow, and then I felt a sense of peace. I think she was trying to tell me that she was alright and that she was moving on. To any of you who are reading this and have lost a pet, know that they are still with you, in your mind, in your soul, and in your heart. A boy and his dog. On March 7th, 2015, we had to make one of the hardest decisions in our life: to get our 14-year-old dog, Faith, put to sleep. Faith wasn't very intelligent, Rhodesian Ridgeback. She loved to play and loved attention from everyone, except small children. She would never bite at anyone, but she would growl at kids and then get up and move away from them. For nearly 18 months prior to Faith's passing, she dealt with our son, who was born in September of 2013. The two coexisted, but he never got too close to her without her growling. That is, until about a week before she passed. In fact, the day that we took her in, she attempted to play with him and even gave him a kiss on his cheek. Several times since Faith's passing, our son will stop what he's doing and call out for Faithy, as he called her. He was only 18 months when she passed, and they didn't really have a close bond. so this was very odd for me. Today, I'm 100% convinced that Faith has come back to be with us. He was playing in the living room and came running down over next to my desk and started calling out, "Faithy, Faithy." So I asked him, "Where's Faith?" He pointed and said, "Down there, floor." So he sat down on the floor, then got up and ran to the kitchen and said, "In there, Faithy," as if she got up and moved away from him when he sat next to her. He then got very excited and said, "Faithy, cute." He's only 21 months old now, and I wasn't even sure that he would remember his first doggy. But thanks to her coming back to live with us, I'm so happy that he can have these moments now of our beloved Faith. A family guardian passes. This story started in early December 2007. One of our 3 cats, named Blue, had reached the old age of 13 years, plus a little bit. Her health was always slowly declining, and by the first week of December 2007, she was near death. Now for some background on our cats. Blue and Stormy had been born to a pair of alley cats that mated in our yard, had kittens in the yard next door to ours, and then began to be fed, received a first series of shots from the lady who lived 2 doors down from us. They were never apart in life and ended up being very good nanny and watch cats. They would take turns on watch during the night, and if you stayed up, you could watch the changing of the guard and checking all of the beds. And if a child was having a sleepover, they would always ask. They would meow at the child's door until it would explain to them what was going on. 4 years later, we added a 3rd cat named Spot. Blue sees to her training and she joins the patrol. Now, as I was saying, after my retirement in 2006 from the Navy, we moved to Austin, Texas and settled in. Blue's health began to decline, and by the first week in December 2007, she was being hand-fed liquid and super soft foods. She still would use the litter box and tended to her watch post at the front door. I would get up in the mornings to get the kids ready for school and check on her. She would meow at me and then sleep, knowing that she had been relieved by me. One morning, I went to check on her. As I reached for her, she gave me a very loud, very strong meow. And I said to her, "Wow, you're feeling good." As I touched her, I realized that she had passed during the night, for she was cold and stiff to the touch. I'm confident that she remained on watch until I relieved her and she said goodbye to me. Flash forward to the evening of November 19th, 2010. Blue's sister, now 16 years old, is showing gray hair and is moving slowly and stiffly around the house. I'm in my bedroom and I hear from the hallway a loud meow. This didn't sound like either Stormy or Spot, but like Blue. I then heard Stormy meow as if in answer to her sister. She then meowed 3 more times. One sounded like she faced my closed bedroom door, and then one for each of the 2 other bedrooms. I called out to our oldest child, and he tells me that Stormy's just acting weird in the hallway. He tells me later that Stormy exited the hallway and climbed into our pet travel carrier as if she expected to go on a trip. An hour later, she was gone. I know her sister came for her and that she made one final patrol and that they have moved on to a better place. Together, as they always have been in life. Respectfully. Cat came to say goodbye. My cat had a vaccine-related sarcoma. This is a tumor due to vaccination. This is very prevalent when you give vaccinations to your pets. The stuff that vaccinations is made of causes cancer. Poor baby had one of his legs amputated. This has only prolonged his life for about 6 months. He was at the last stages and only a couple of days left for him to live. I noticed that my cat, a couple of days before passing away, was looking at the wall at one particular spot for minutes. Then he would go there and touch the wall and meow. This was happening several times a day for a couple of days. It seemed to me as he was looking at something beyond what is seen by the human eyes. He would go there several times. He would sit there and wait for something. I'm not trying to sound crazy, but I think that it was an unseen portal or entrance to something we don't see, like a passage to another world after death. Perhaps the door was already there and he was trying to open it while alive. I also noticed that he would stare at some space and like he was listening to something or conversing with something unseen. His face was moving and I heard little meows, and he would look at me and then look at something that he was conversing with. Was he talking to his dead relatives? There are a lot of things in this world that we don't know. Animals do see fourth dimension, something that is not seen by human eyes. It is possible that they might see ghosts or something that is out of this world. There might be a portal to another world so close to us that we don't even know because we can't detect it by our senses. My poor angel passed away. He was so bad that I took him to the Anti-Cruelty Society Chicago, where he was euthanized. I was with him until the end. He passed away quickly and peacefully. Couldn't sleep all night. I was overflown with guilt and sorrow. I fell asleep sometime during the morning hours, sitting next to my mother on her couch. When I woke up, I felt like something warm was sitting on my feet. When I removed my blanket, I saw my cat for a couple of seconds. He was as he used to be before cancer, big and beautiful with 4 legs. He walked out of the blanket and disappeared. I think that he came to say that he was all right, and that he is free now from any pain. He came to say final goodbye, and he sat on my feet for the last time. I have adopted another cat. He also sometimes looked at some place on the wall and would stare there for minutes. Go wonder, I don't know what my cat was staring at. Any hypotheses out there?